Hello, our most valued student. My name is Confident and welcome to our 24-minute lesson. This is the ultimate guide in maths, science, career guidance, as well as a sneak peek in my personal experiences. This is a channel that is designed with you in mind. Let us dive into today's lesson.
Welcome again to part 2. I'll call this lesson, if you are joining us, this is part 2. And part 2 of what? Of these reduction rules and special angles. We've already looked at part 1. You can see there is a lot of working here where I was looking at this question. So this was part 1. We looked at this question, which was 5 marks. So if you missed it, please tune in to part 1 of this lesson. And also you can see that we looked at this one. It was 6 marks. And this one is again a question that was for November 2021. So we looked at this and we were looking at some reduction rules. Now in this lesson, I want to focus on, let me erase this. These are our formulas. I want to look at question number 5. Look at question number 5. Question number 5, it says, simplify the following expression to one trigonometric term. This is 5 marks. So how do you ensure you don't lose that mark? Obviously, you can see these are reduction rules that you need to apply. So let's look at this. If I can write this down, it says you have got sine x over cos x dot 10x, and then you have plus sine 180 plus x, and then cos 90 minus x. I think that is that. Alright, I hope I wrote it right. Now look at this thing. Whatever you are given, they don't give things in random. They always give something with a reason. So let's try what I did previously. Let's choose, for example, our value of x here, and for argument's sake, let's say let x be equal to 50 degrees, and see what this simplifies to, this thing. By using x is equal to 50, what are you trying to see? You are trying to see, is this going to simplify into just a simplified answer or what? So let's look at that. Sine 50, as I said, that's how you can test it, over cos 50, right, times, better to put it times there, tan 50. This helps you to test or have an idea where does this thing go, and then plus sine 180 plus 50, you close there, and then times, please put a times though they didn't put there, and then it's cos 90 minus 50. You need to be just sensitive that you don't make errors, equal to, alright, it's not giving me a simplified or same answer. It's giving me, see, let me just check again, sine 50 cos 50, I did there, tan 50, and then in there, just to check if it did the right thing, sine 180 plus 50 cos 90 minus 50, you say it equal to 0,413. So I'm going to take this answer here to say I got 0,413. I will compare it to my final answer. So let's work it out. At least it doesn't simplify to just a simplified expression like -1, -2 and stuff, but still you're going to use this test. This is for testing, remember. So it helps you to see that you're simplifying it to the right answer. Now let's do a few things here. Look at this one. 10, you know what is 10? 10 is simple here, sine x over cos x. It means, you see that cos will go. You see that? We're going to talk about that. And then we're coming here, reduction rules. What do you do? Reduction rules, come back to the cast diagram. This is just me quickly working that. I told you, you cannot do anything without the cast diagram. 180, it doesn't take too long to draw this. You see, I'm just going to do it in less than a minute. All students take chemistry. This is what you need mainly is this one, 180 minus theta, 180 plus theta, 360 minus theta. You know here is cofunctions, which is 90 minus theta. These are your cofunctions here. Cofunctions. Be careful with them. There it is. There, you've got cofunctions. We must be very, very sensitive with them. And then you must know what are cofunctions. Now look at this. 180 plus theta, we are here, is quadrant number 3. And what sign is negative. And then here, we are here. So we can simplify this thing in here. Now we must remember cofunctions, what it says. Cos 90 minus x is sine x here. If I say cos 90 minus theta, this is equal to what? This is equal to sine theta. That's the cofunction. Sine theta, and sine 90 minus theta is equal to cos theta. You start with sine, you end with cos. You start with cos, you end with sine. Cofunctions. Then it's done. Look at this. If I now simplify it, this is equal to sine x over cos x. Just remember the cos x here. Then we change that tan. We said we're going to change that tan to what? Sine x over cos x. Are you with me? You know why we're doing that. This is now over 1. You see what is happening. Then plus what? This sine 180 plus x, we say it is negative sine x. See that? That's negative sine x times cos 90 minus x. We say cos 90 minus its sine x. Remember, that is the cofunction. Start with cos, you end with sine. Then, having done that, I can further simplify here and say this cos and that cos. Are you seeing that? Then equal to, now it's more like you can even cancel the sign, because I've got here sine x over sine x. Are you seeing that? Which will further cancel out to give me a 1. So plus, it's minus because I'll multiply. Look at this. This is sine x minus sine x. So if I multiply negative sine x times that is negative sine squared x. Are you seeing that? So here I remember I got a 1. So the answer is 1 minus sine squared x. But what is 1 minus sine squared x? Are you able to see that? What is it? What is it? Is your mind coming in? Remember cos squared x. Now they won't give you this one because they expect you to know. What is cos squared x plus sine squared x? What is it? It's 1. Remember the very first identities that you learned. Cos squared x plus sine squared x is equal to 1. Now if you take sine to the other side, you have your cos squared x being what? 1 minus sine squared x. So these you need to monitor them. There it is. So this, which means this thing is simple what? Equal to cos squared x. Are you with me? Now, if you are testing, come back to the testing part. Test, 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 test. Now, you are given, I said here, when we are testing, we have to say, let's test for x is equal to 50. So I must get what? 0.419. So if I come here and say, when x is equal to 50, now how do you do cos squared? Cos squared is this. It's cos x in the calculator. You say cos x squared, which will be cos 50, and then you square it. Now let's check if the answer is going to what? The answer must match so that it can what? It can be a sign that we simplified. Now let's do that. Bracket cos 50, close it and close and square it, equal to 0.41312, 0.41312, 0.41312, something like that. Let's check the previous one, which was 0.419. Am I doing this right? 0.413. Let me check again if ever I did this thing right. It was cos, because I expected to match 100%, cos 50, and then it's squared, equal to 0.413. So I'm getting a 413 here, yes, like that. Let's check now the original. Let's go back to the original here. Let me use the original. We are going to use, remember, cos 50 in the original. So I have got here sine 50 close over cos 50 times tan 50, right? And then I've got play forward plus sine what? 180 plus 50 close, and then I multiply times cos, and then I've got what? 90 minus 50, then close that, equal to 0,4131. I don't know why I put a 9 there. It's 0,4131. You see that? This is 0,4131. Right, if you remember, that's what actually I got here, 0,4131. So that's how you can test to see that you are in doing well, kind of, you are in the right direction. No? Next one, last one, quick, without a calculator. But that's when you use a calculator. Determine the value of. So you take the calculator and find out. Please guys, just don't allow the instructions to make you, in a way, comply and everything. So what you do, take the calculator, find out what does this thing give me. Now, how do you punch this though? If they say sine squared 35, I just showed you. You put a bracket, and then you have got sine 35. You close the bracket, and the one that you open, then you put squared. See that? And then minus cos squared 35 again. You put a bracket. You've got cos. Then you say 35. You close and put squared. See, over, and then 4 times. Better to be putting times on these numbers. Then sine 10. Close, and then times cos 10. If you can do that, so that you are clear on the calculator, it can still give the same number with avoiding many things, but it's better to do that. Equal to, look, this thing is just simple, a negative half. Now you work towards that. I know my answer is a negative half. That's why they say get the answer, but they are trying to say to you, we know the answer is negative half. We have already worked it out. That's what the examiner is saying, but show us how we went across coming with that. First things first, let's look at the top. Actually, it's easy for you to recognize this answer. Look, it's saying sine squared 35 minus cos squared 35 over 4 sine 10 cos 10. Two things here they were testing you. Look at this. They are trying to test you on number one, two identities. Look at these two identities. This one is based to this identity, cos, let me this. This is cos 2a. Where is it? Let's go back to our formulas. There. We are looking at cos 2 alpha. So we see all these three. Cos squared alpha minus sine squared alpha 1 minus 2 sine squared alpha 2 cos squared alpha minus 1. I'm going to write them down here. Cos 2 alpha, not a, now I'm going to follow what they say there, is equal to cos squared alpha minus sine squared alpha, and equal to 1 minus 2 sine squared alpha, and equal to 2 sine squared alpha minus 1. They are always 3, but be careful about it. Then this one, did you see it? It's this one, sine 2 alpha, which is 2 sine alpha cos alpha. This is the one that they are using here. See that? Sine 2 alpha. So now if I'm to write it here, it's sine 2 alpha is equal to 2 sine alpha cos alpha. So guys, this is what they just wanted to do to you. So now if you can focus on working on this thing out, look at this. Our alpha here is what? This is the one they chose on this part. See that? So that the alpha is 35. The alpha is 35 here. You see that? And then so you can literally, without much debate, you can see that this is sine 2 alpha. So when I write it, how do you write this? You write it like this, which is equal to sine 2, and my alpha, it's bracket 35. You see that? That's what you have to do, because the alpha is 35. Over, now how do you write this guy? This 2 sine alpha, look at this. 4 is same as saying 2 times 2 sine 10 cos 10. See what I'm doing? Why am I doing the 2? So that these 2 here will match that one. You understand? So now, and that one will come here to become sine 2 alpha. So what I have here, it will be equal to sine 2 times 35, you know it's sine 70, over 2. Now, what is sine 2 sine 10 cos 10? Now, our alpha here is the 10. Do you see that? So it will be 2 times what? And then I say sine is 2 alpha, which is 2 bracket, sorry about this, sine 2 bracket 10, just like I did on top. It was 2 bracket 35, now it's 2 bracket 10. Then equal to, what do I have? Sine 70 over 2 sine what? This is sine 20. Are you seeing that? Actually, I don't know why I'm saying sine. It's cos on top. Cos. Sorry about that. Remember, on top we are dealing with cos, not sine. It's cos 70. Sorry about that. This was cos. This is cos here. I don't know why I was now writing this as sine. This is cos. Right. So now when we are here, this is still cos. It was just a mistype there. This is cos 70. Now look at this. When you are here, you have got now 70 plus, add these two numbers. You can see, if I can just look at this, this 70 plus 20 is 90 cofunctions. You see, they are back again on cofunctions here. Now you just add 70 plus 20, you get 90. You know you're dealing with what? With cofunctions. Alright, now with cofunctions, what does it say? It doesn't matter. Let me use the sign now. Sine 90 minus theta. You start with sine, you end with what? With cos theta. So I can convert this in the bottom. So I can say here, this is same as saying cos 70 over 2 sine. Now 90 minus 70. What is sine 20? If I subtract 90 minus 20, I got 70. So that is still my sine 20, this one. That is still my sine 20, because 90 minus 70 is what? Is 20. Are you seeing that? Which is equal to cos 70 over 2. Now, cofunction, if it's sine 90 minus theta, it's cos theta. So sine becomes now cos 70. See, they want you to do that. They want that conversion. So they want to see this, as I keep repeating, they want to see this movement and that movement, because you are using the cofunction here. Okay, don't forget that. They want to see that because that's the concept they are trying to bring. So this then, if you simplify, you cancel, it is equal to 1 on top over 2. And then remember the calculator, what did it give us? It gave us a negative answer. I don't know how we got a negative answer as 1 over 2 in here. Can I see if it can give us a negative? Yes, it gives us a negative. Now I see how it gave a negative. You see, I made an error here. Look at the error that I made. This simplification, sorry about that. Look at this. That's what they wanted to trick. They tricked me, actually. It's good. That's why it's good to come back to this. You see, having an answer, working towards the answer is good. So what I did is, look at my reduction, my double angle. cos 2 alpha, it starts with cos, not with what? Not with sine. Some of you already picked it up. So what do? This is what you do. You are supposed to change this to say, let me change it now. So the working was supposed to be this. You say minus cos squared 35 plus sine squared 35. That's how it was supposed to be first of all. Then you take minus, put a bracket. When you factorize it, then you'll have cos squared 35 minus sine squared 35. That's how it was supposed to start. Then you say over, you've got 4 sine 10 cos 10. So there is our negative. That's how it was supposed to start. From here, you can then justifiable see that this can move on to become here. This now can match to become that, because it's cos squared alpha minus sine squared alpha. Cos squared 35 minus sine squared 35. Then the negative was going to flow all the way. So I want you to correct it. Wherever you have got this guy here, you are not writing sine squared, you're starting with cos squared. But after that, this becomes correct. But don't forget, you have a negative here. Remember, you have already that negative outside. So you've got a negative there. You'll continue with your negative there. You continue with your negative. It will flow until the final answer with a negative and with a negative, and then the final answer was going to be negative half. So it was a matter, I'm not going to redo this, it was just a matter of me being realizing that they started with sine squared 35, not cos squared, and then you're supposed to follow this rearrangement at first so that the negative is taken out. Once you have got the negative out, then everything flows as is. So guys, this is how you answer these questions. But as I said, don't use a calculator. I mean, use it, but intelligently. So use it to your advantage. We've come to the end of our session. I hope you guys are benefiting. I'll be doing also general solution questions. See, there is another one. So give me a shout if indeed these are going to be beneficial for you, so that I can bring them as soon as possible. Remember to subscribe, share, and share the channel, guys. Share with your friends. I want to see you sharing this with your friends. Thank you.